coming into this one. The Danes want to be getting revenge for last time around, so let's see if they can pull it off with Connor and Mo.
Thank you so much, Freya. Thank you so very, very much. It's time to get into Heroic and Team Vitality. Inferno. Vitality taking it here, you know, bit of a challenge, but at the same time, success on this map as of late. So I don't think this is an easy accomplishment for Vitality to be coming at. Heroic, the ever so slight betting favors. And I think we're just going to have an awesome series on our hand. I hope that Lewis is wrong. I don't want a 2-0 blowout. I want something straight down the middle, brother.
I'm thinking 2-1. I think he called it a bold prediction for a reason.
That's fair.
This result could go every single way. It could be 2-1 for either team. It could be 2-0 for sure. Inferno is a great map for the reason that Heroic have clearly made tons of improvements on. I'd like to see Vitality get tested on the utility front because I think that's where Heroic have improved the most, actually. Put in a lot of work recently on Inferno. Now we know about the normal Heroic CT side setup retaking B. They've actually quietly stacked 3 and not been tested from Vitality. Well, now Vitality hitting the A site fast.
Shush gonna keep things locked in Graveyard. Sees 2 and 3. Insta-pops Magisk, catches Spink's head. Shush, very clean with the pistols. Apex has a bunch of bodies jumping out of mid. TeSeS' signature move is of late. Look the other way, jump up and down, and hope you just don't die. Sure enough, we'll get traded out. So Heroic pick up pistol.
Shush has been a shining star for this team, I swear. But, you know, gets a lot of... doesn't get too many conversations around him on this roster. Lately, he has been stealing the show, I think, and anchoring when it comes to Vertigo. His individual level has been really coming up. Great to see the shots connecting for Shush. And Vitality don't win here. So, okay, it looks a little bit messy, but it was also a great round, great shots out of Heroic.
Picks up a couple.
Oh, what?
Remember who's in the server, though. At a moment's notice, you will be reminded bluntly. ZywOo not going to be able to pick up that third Deagle kill, but he does set up Spinks, who has had a resurgence in impact as of late.
Much better this year in this short time span, for sure.
Apex giving us an interview lately saying, you know, Spinks has come to the realization that he needs to be a star player in order for this Vitality formula to work. Well, a star player is what he aspires to be, and it's what he's shown us glimpses of as of late. Quieter series versus Fnatic, however, to what we were starting to get expected. And well, we'll see if today changes that tale.
Oh, it's his patience that defines him, doesn't it? It's also Shush's, and it looks like,
wow.
Oh my god.
But Shush does shoot shots.
But hold on. An interesting rotation. Cadian trying to read into this situation. There is a smoke, actually, at the top of Car, if they can find it. So that could be the golden piece of utility. But instead, Vitality will run it back to the other side of the map. Cadian's got the angle cutting through default, but the smoke is coming down Moto. He might have to move into this. We'll see how he responds.
As long as they don't cross before it goes up. Sure enough. Chance timing not taken. Cadian thinking about the press through smoke. It's unchecked. It's unwatched. Spinks comes off plant, catches Cadian. Low HP, so it's an easy pickup here for Shush. Looking for his 5th kill, but denied by the Deagle of Magisk.
With the 1v1 Deagle, he had the MP9 in his left hand, the Deagle in his right. Damn, did he trust that thing?
Bro, but talking about trust, man, Spinks nearly betrayed. Nobody holding smoke. Cadian runs through. Magisk just wanting to get eyes on brackets instead. Yeah. I mean, Shush gets out of that, or excuse me, Spinks with 5 HP.
They didn't know where Cadian was at all, so it could have been Cadian in the halls. It could have been Cadian flanking through mid, which is where Magisk was going. Yeah, definitely good advice to watch that smoke, but the lurk could have come out from any choke point. Well, 1v1 Deagle. Stylish way to end that round.
Off of ZywOo's double banger.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
We didn't even get to see it.
I mean,
it just felt big.
Yeah, it wasn't a collateral. He adjusted for the second kill.
2 bullets, 2 headshots. Shush gonna try to replicate the experience for Vitality. Zywoo locking in the library player, just gets drove by TeSeS, and Spinks is there to pick up slack. So all good here for Vitality.
Ooh, Vitality are moving nice right now.
3 players up, and they move that bomb closer towards the B site. Excellent scout shot from Cadian. Gotta give it credit. But it's still the B plant, and more than likely, the second round for Vitality.
Tells them at least where Cadian is, so he can go and get whatever gun he wants, maybe a couple of pieces of utility scattered across the ground. Yeah, he'll go ahead and hoard these guns, in fact, in case they want to come for the AKs. Prudent of Cadian, both the Ts right now only have SMGs, but Vitality will trade the round for those guns every day of the week. I would say 4/5 of Vitality have been impressing me. It's dupreeh, unfortunately, I feel like, who had a moment. It was the groups. He actually played very well at the Blast groups to start the year off, but coming into Kato, very, very unimpressive, honestly. And for Vitality, the whole story right now is Paris coming up, resurgence of 4 between some, we'll say, old dogs, you know what I mean? And Apex also had a good start to the year, and that has to be noticed as well, because you could say that Apex, even though he's the last person you need to step up on a team with so many major champions and upcoming stars, well, still, some of his games, he actually is the reason they lose because of how irresponsible sometimes his gameplay is, and individually he's been taking himself more seriously.
I think if you were to just say you were impressed by 4, most people would probably assume that you don't mean Apex included in that. But his ability to stay alive as of late just seems to keep the easier rounds exactly that, easier.
It's a hard line to draw between making space and being too far away to trade. And sometimes I think Apex struggles to find that balance. When we scroll back a few years, Apex, he had something like a 1.18 rating. I think it was like 2018, something like that. I mean, at one point he was individually a guy we looked to, one of the best entry fraggers, period. But, well, time wears us all down, doesn't it?
Luckily, Counter-Strike keeps us young.
Yeah, and having huge goals in mind, I think, will only be a benefit. You know? So, and Heroic, they're not totally out of the clear. They're getting a little bit better, for sure. They've shown some improvements over the break on some maps, but not everybody is firing off.
Yeah, who is though?
Jabbi is firing off.
Yes,
he has been, yeah.
Second highest rated player at Katowice group stage over all these teams, all these stars, and Jabbi is number 2. Right now we've got Stown just trying to minimize himself inside of the pit. Very rapid clear from dupreeh. All is good, but they let that go unchecked. Stown serves up the distraction that the Moto players try to push through with, doesn't go their way, and so it's the clean conversion to the third one.
For me, the thing that stops Vitality for being a tournament favorite for me is the calling style. I think they play an optimal version of CS, but it's slightly dated, in my opinion. And I think that can win them games because they have good enough players. And when it comes to pressured games, they have an edge over other teams who may be more inexperienced. But when I think about the modern era of CS, I think teams like FaZe with Kerrigan have really stood up and showed that they can keep up with any meta. Heroic are defining that meta currently. G2 are on top of everything when it comes to optimizations and playing modern styles of CS. But some of the older IGLs and teams that have been around a lot longer, you can sort of see where they're actually quite predictable in some of their rounds. And I think that's Vitality's biggest challenge. And it can be hard when you've won so much in different times to redefine yourself and look for the discipline to build new habits.
You think that uptick in their success lately is because they are starting to incorporate changes, or do you think it's more just individuals?
No, I think it's individuals, personally. I mean, seeing some stuff, like even though the double mini pit drop in that previous round, it's a little bit harder than it looks, actually. And they did that with 2 players, but small, it's all about the nuance in 22. You know, if you go back like 2 years, CS doesn't look that different on its face, but there are so many details these days.
Ooh, timing off that flash. Jabbi was in the reload, so we get 3 Ts pushing through, and Jabbi still stuffs the double. Now, it's not going to stop the bomb from being planted, but that slight gap doesn't get punished.
Oh, a jiggle there.
Not quite the best op in Denmark. Stown giving away a chance here for the 3v5 post plant with the majority of Heroics members already low, but all of them getting into construction thus far.
The late molly.
Look at this pack.
Oh no, ZywOo.
Ugh, uncharacteristic, but now he's going to have to thrive on the rifle. ZywOo's got the double. Spinks, he didn't see that boost, and he's waiting for jabbi's peek because the dupreeh flank comes in massive. Kadian falls down, catches Spinks off guard, but time decides this one, and Vitality will hang on 3v5.
Ooh, always good to switch up the lurk as well. And of course, dupreeh, known Halls player that can lurk on Inferno, but if him and Spinks can split up that responsibility and that duty, then they can be a little bit harder to read. So Heroic not ready for it. Jabbi's hold was so good, especially playing retake in a spot like this. Smoke lands late, he gets his peek off, so there's that, but not an easy job. ZywOo only missed that molly so he'd get the kills faster.
He's got to give himself a challenge.
Vitality are amped, and I think the story of this match is the fact that if you win this, you go to semis. Both teams are going to the Spodek, but both teams want to win this tournament, right? They're not dark horses, underdogs. Maybe Vitality slightly there, but you could see them winning events. But if the team that wins this, that goes to semis, avoids FaZe and G2, that entire side of the bracket. So if you lose this match, I mean, there are two teams there, the most likely teams to win this entire event, and you could potentially have them cannibalize each other, taking out teams on the other side of the bracket. So a lot could rest on this match, at least for the odds for these two guys.
It's a train ticket halfway up this very steep mountain that is the challenge of Katowice. I can see ZywOo on a gondola. Kadian, he'll find dupreeh top mid. We've got more players where that comes from, but the 5-7 is still enough. ZywOo jumps out, doesn't want to be the next victim of these close playing CTs, because there's more where that first one came from. Yes, Kadian shaves off the first with the M4, 1 of 2. Spinks awaits his re-peek, catches that one. Don't know.
Yeah,
yes, he did. The glimpse of the CT climbing up into apps. So now you'd think that the bomb carrier in ZywOo is on high alert, but it's jabbi's second M4 that still slices off one, and then he just crouches back, awaiting ZywOo. The jig is up, his position's known, but that's not going to stop jabbi from getting impact. Tech9 gets away from ZywOo, 2 HP. It's not enough to stop the second highest rated player here at Groups.
Yeah, he's been a stonewall, man. Got to give it up to jabbi. We have yet to see how good this kid can get, and he's already done so well. Towards the end of 22, man, a standout player. At Rio, a standout player. Definitely no questions, personally, when it comes to big events. The trades come down pretty well here up until this final moment.
Pressured situation for jabbi, and he thrives in that.
He will not allow a retake to take place. So there's still money here for Vitality.
Pressured situation of the Copenhagen Fall Finals is another place that we saw jabbi go above and beyond.
Oh, man. Unreal.
The reason that they picked up their win, their big event victory in 2022. Like you said, both teams fighting for the victory, but the semifinals first.
It's incredible the kills that ZywOo has been getting here at the group stage. He's sort of someone to me that's between Device and Simple in terms of how visible his impact is, right? With
I like that.
With Simple being so flashy and so clearly, like, when he has big rounds, you can count them. Like, they all happen at once, and ZywOo's kind of quietly picking up a kill here and there, and then has a big moment every once in a while.
Yeah, the hybrid of two of the greatest to ever touch the op. He's very much the whole package as well. Excellent pistols, rifles, doesn't matter what he's playing with.
Yeah.
Really is just a different game for this beast. Here we go into the exec at the B site.
Good place to go. Kadian on the op, but, well, he has a smoke at least.
But they're already ahead of it, and he misses his chance at clipping the first player off the play. That would have been ZywOo as well, so huge scalp to take. Instead, B site crumbles beneath the pressure. It's a simple exec with one missed op shot. that gives Vitality man advantage in a post plant. Nothing can really be stopped at this point, so they're just going to take the evacuation route, but they get caught in the corner, and that almost costs them 1 or 2 deaths. They'll all be able to walk away. Everybody wipes their hands clean, but it's a 5th added to the board for Vitality.
Yeah, so the save will be respected. To go back again to their individual level and stuff, I made a video, calling them frauds for 22 because, well, they've said it recently. Well, I talked to them and doing some pre-tournament content, and they said that they were very disappointed in their 22. Even though they picked up a tournament win or 2 every single year for the past few years, overall, for the stature of this team and the quality of players we see on our screen right now, very disappointing results ultimately. They should be locking for playoffs every single event. They should be winning, 2-3 tournaments, and of course, a very hard time to guarantee them with all of the great teams here. But I think ultimately, the reason they've even stayed relevant overall, I think he still has stuff he's not carrying lights out at the major and things like that, but no one's buying him time. And when they played their best was when Spinks was there, and of course that Pro League victory was the moment of the year for them. But as soon as he disappeared again as the new pickup, well, there was a lot lacking around ZywOo, outside of ZywOo. Another guy we have yet to see how good he can be. Still, first 4 years as a Counter-Strike professional player, averaging top 2 on HLTV's top 20.
A genuine phenom in that sense. Never before seen.
Paris Major coming up as well.
Maybe never again seen. We've had great rookie years. Monacy, obviously the most recent example. And
Bit winning a major in his first year. Yeah.
All incredible feats. But nothing as individually impressive as ZywOo. Right now, he's topping the board for Vitality's 5-2 lead. dupreeh pressing into the arch side. Dane on Dane action as Cadian flashes him back. And Cadian's always happy to float around this bomb site, look for those engagements, try to stop balcony. He's not one to shell up inside sight under pressure. But obviously at this point, can't afford to die. We've also got Shush, killer pit player.
So he is actually fantastic at playing off the angles. So Stound comes in as a rotator as Cadian gets cozy inside the site.
And gets smoked off. Timing could play a factor, but he doesn't pull the trigger.
Oh,
is that 3 backs turn? No, they tried to hold it. ZywOo meant to keep them in, but instead he gets popped instantly. Magisk will get the only return frag, and so that pack of Vitality players meant to wrap this A site.
Wow.
Spinks and Magisk are sitting on their entry points, waiting, and then it just all gets swept away. So nicely done from Stound there.
Oh man, not asking for any utility.
Nicely done.
If he asks for a pit flash, for example, they might actually turn towards him. Or if they're playing anti, might alert them. He gives them no clues whatsoever and walks through. And that's the kind of player that Stound is as well in terms of finding gaps. He embodies heroic just like Cadian does, and well, he knows when to take initiative. That was an insane call out. And that's the kind of, when I say Vitality are incredibly optimized and have that older style of players who don't make mistakes, well, those are moments where they have every right with the 2 smokes down to split arch and wrap as quickly as they did. But then Stound can also feel comfortable knowing they aren't doing anything different, that they're going to be doing this a certain way, and maybe you can get away with a move like that. And I think that's why Heroic have got the edge over Vitality across most of their series. They actually, Vitality never beat them in 22. It's only recently they got a revenge win versus them at the last spring groups, but that was beginning of the year. And Heroic will get better now. Now they got a bit of a chip on their shoulder with Vitality, and they have a huge incentive to really own this game. So a new test for Vitality.
Flash finds its target, and TeSeS, dupreeh wastes no time. TeSeS regains vision, and jabbi can't get himself a double. Usually good for more than one. Now, luckily for Heroic, we're still talking about the double pit setup, even though Arch has been compromised.
So they can wait.
But it could go back.
Yeah, so Shush is so good because he preemptively used utility, but if they can wait this smoke out now.
Just gave up his angle.
Oh, they got into the site as well.
Util over the top. gets the player in the back line. That's the bomb drop. So now the only players left stranded inside sight. Apex, no chance. Not with Shush and Stown locking in pit like that.
Sorry, excuse me. I thought that Shush was going to get countered now that his smoke was coming up. No, he's just fine.
All good for Heroic. All good.
Yeah, what defines good anchors is look at how many flashes they dodge. And look at how many times that they have utility out as the execs are coming in. These are the two, I think, biggest skills that they can have. The aim is something that most of the players can do in their positions, but it's not getting caught off guard by executes that defines a good anchor.
Stuff between the smoke and the flames. And oh, okay, TeSeS.
That's a fine.
Poor guy. TeSeS, an individual for Heroic who's also had an uptick as of late. We've talked about Shush's CT sides. We've talked about Jabbi's impact, his rating at the moment. But TeSeS was coming into this event as the highest rated Heroic player. Jabbi, again, it's a one and done. It's a 4v3 vitality. It's banana control, unless Cadian really tries to press the issue, and instead, he just sets it ablaze.
This is a good moment to read. Cadian's moving over to A. Shush can be up to bat. He's thin on utility at the moment. Teaser coming his direction.
But a rock-solid defender.
Seen great holds out of Shush. See if he can make magic happen.
He's on a bit of a pedestal here, dupreeh.
They're trying to create an interesting timing. Shush knows something to be able to stand here confidently with no smoke in the halls. Will he be correct in the entry out lane first? Will he have no flashes, though?
No, but a trio of smokes and a Molotov, that's it. Shush takes a more passive angle. This one can sometimes catch players so off guard. Sometimes they're already jumping. Does dupreeh have the chance to properly clear this with Cadian's op not far away? Jumps over. Nice tracking. And he falls down beneath him. Look at this nuisance that he serves up. Cadian comes through. 2 op shots. Nicely done.
Oh, man.
Fantastic distraction out of Shush, but we will have Spinks in a clutch.
He has a fresh smoke down on Moto. He has a sight to himself. He loves to close.
Cadian on 20 health, Stown by his side, and he's going to try to press this in. Kills Cadian, looks for the next, but Stown already through that smoke, gets the better of him as he finds that minute little bit of timing to get the edge and to take back that lead.
And Spinks actually did check just in case Stown had gotten ahead of it, but Stown locks it up. And we look back on Shush, the hero, up on the halls. If he doesn't kill the guy with his last bullet as he tracked him falling into pit, then he couldn't have fallen into pit right after. Got more damage off and allowed Cadian to kill him, so... Or get the refrag.
Wonderful play here. Look at that. Takes a player down just as quickly as he drops.
Yeah.
And Cadian seizes the opportunity with 2 kills to his name.
It's a beautiful disengage from Shush.
Each time Vitality find themselves attacking that A site. Whoa, multiple kills out of multiple defenders. But this one starts off with a bang.
I think Zywoo dinked. Oh no, he just got the kill. I thought he dinked one more. He's the one who got dinked. Stown's found himself in an interesting spot.
Trying to keep Heroic on their toes. Spinks. Oh, inspired.
That's a whole kit of utility and a good gun down.
By the Woo. He comes through with a dig of his own. Now M4 Spinks, M4 dupreeh.
And the odds of the round completely change here.
Holy hell.
4v5, I'd still say Heroic, okay, you're still fine, but... So these are the moments, we take a snapshot here, where I feel like Vitality, they always sit and pause, and they wait and make sure not to make a mistake. And Heroic do a good job of making use of the map that's available to them, knowing that Vitality aren't going to go and seek things out or rush the situation.
And this is the kind of pause that you're talking about when you mention like slightly outdated CS.
Yes, and in the sense that Heroic, in this same situation, in a 5v3, would still continue searching map control where they think it's empty, but not be worried about losing the advantage, just continuously going through with protocols, basically thinking 100% of the round. And that's where I feel like they get the edge versus some of the more veteran teams these days. But it still doesn't change the fact that it's 5v3. Now, Apex is the one with nades as they came in on a half buy. We'll see if he can make use of them. There's actually no flash for him.
Dodged. Ooh, TeSeS. Oh, what? That last shot. The bullet that curves into Spinks and takes back the edge. Cadian missed op shot, but his teammates got it all.
Woohoo! TeSeS with 5. That third kill was unbelievable.
Cue up that replay, because it looks like he had looked away already.
Wow.
But the last bullet out of the barrel snips the hopes of Vitality's force. 2 deegs to kick it off and nothing thereafter. Oof.
And Heroic have a lead after these rounds. The buy's still coming in for Vitality, but they lost a chance right there. Messi coming out of the halls. 3 people, 1 pit guy in his usual spot, and they can't kill him. There's no flash to support that take. So maybe they should have gone with a lurker and tried a different avenue, but look how easy TeSeS makes this look. Oh.
The only player there without armor is ZywOo. Stellar highlight out of TeSeS, and just like that, he's amidst the pack. Waiting for his chance to shine. It's round 11 with his name stamped across it. Cadian reveals the ops position. Magisk fades away before that nade will find him. That could have been Vitality's 6-5 lead. Could have been counter-terrorists on a broken buy. Could have been a lot of things, but instead it's a TeSeS highlight reel. Vitality back to work.
Gosh, where did he grab that? Was that into boiler?
In apps. No, just straight up apps.
Oh, okay.
Spinks must have just put his head on a pedestal.
ZywOo locked up a little bit, trying to take lane with no halls player at this moment.
No peek behind that flash, but it could have been huge.
Gotta appreciate Heroic's setup right now. It's well organized to deal with anything coming towards lane, and they still have someone watching Cubby. Vitality inch closer without losing any more members. 1 flash left on Apex.
Nobody holding this from Moto,
he's
though.
Here in halls.
Stound's thinking about coming through that smoke. ZywOo catches the kill.
What an opportunity, man.
Now we've got 2 defenders sure enough in sight, and the defenders usually good for a kill or 2 apiece, but they are pinned against the wall, so they'll fight every step of the way. And Shush from the corner, as his impact from Pit has the T's chasing ghosts. They can't find him. They can't kill him because he stops them in their tracks.
Oh my God, Shush. He's the one turning it into a library. That's Vitality melted down, trying to look for the ghost of his former self over in mini pit, wondering what side of the pit he's playing in this time. And instead, he's not there. He's not on the balcony. He's not in apps. He's tucked in sight with Cadian in a brand new position. And
So
he's rewarded
fresh.
for it, yeah.
Just keeping things different. Even Cadian being in that backside box, right? We've seen him float around arch side. We haven't seen Stound take a risk through a smoke like that. Heroic. It's a fresh look. And again, they go right back to bat, swinging for Apex. He gets rocked. And that could just transition Vitality to the B play. But they'll be still working with just the Scout and AK. Couple of smokes to maybe get them in. We're starting to get down to the final moments of this T side. And it started much better than it's ending. For Vitality, that is. TeSeS wants to challenge. He will bring one with him, but Spinks has the trade, and Cadian's ops not far away from the front line. Missed shot, though.
Uh-oh.
Again, missed op shots. He gets the pistol out. Nade finds Cadian. And that there is the CT cross cleared. Bomb will be planted. You've got ZywOo grabbing the AK upgrade. You've got dupreeh still back on Banana, looking to just lock in this flank, and sure enough, it's coming. Shush's head popped, and now Stound gonna have to go big.
Oh, and Stound doesn't know where ZywOo got off to. What, how did he even sneak the quad? CT wasn't smoked.
Who knows, man? ZywOo just slides away into the cover. Had that Molotov landed on him, he'd be doomed, but he sees it as a chance to peek. And you can see Stound even thinking,
wow,
if he's not dark corner, then surely he's construction as he turns to check the flank.
Man, and they half swing Cadian and CT spawn. If ZywOo doesn't throw that nade, he stays alive, and they lose a player on the cross. And that molly, that Cadian throw, actually wins the situation for Heroic. So ZywOo, again, massive impact. Like right there.
Round-winning moment. Shout out dupreeh. ZywOo's job gets infinitely harder if Banana Control also becomes a part of that retake. Critical 2 versus 2 for Vitality to keep this as close as can be.
Feels like in a couple of these situations, they've locked themselves up when it comes to the utility, especially flashbangs when they need to try to scale into situations. That could be them picking the wrong way to approach the round with the utility that they have. Worth another look back to see where things went wrong for Vitality, but Shush's anchoring can make a lot of teams look bad, so especially with the way he's been playing recently and particularly today, this is not coming out of nowhere.
Two rounds to wrap up this first half, and ZywOo goes right back to the banana opening. Oof, nice nade.
I actually could not have gotten more out of that. Square him in the middle of two of them.
And there's more where that came from, not just in util, but bodies. Jabbi's about to fly around that corner by the looks of it. Cadian maybe just holding for the contact. Blind shot, nicely done. He sees the next one. It's a USP out. Jabbi's in the middle of it all. The flash is fantastic, and Jabbi keeps fighting. By the time that Spinks gets him killed, everybody else from Vitality is dead. And talk about getting stuffed on the brink of that B site.
Just a massive hold. They put themselves in the perfect spots to make sure to punish anybody jumping out before the flash comes out so they can scale. Cadian loves that angle. Jabbi, perfect support right behind him, and they even had a third player there. If Vitality could see the map, they wouldn't have picked B in that moment. So Heroic, great read on the setup.
Jabbi just goes in, sidearm swinging.
Like trying to catch a marble bouncing around the room.
Final round of the half.
It's been a good half.
Yeah, it's been good CS.
Yeah.
You mentioned that improvement as of late from Heroic's utility. I feel like that early nade damage last round, and then all of the smokes and flashes and chaos it created, really good example.
I mean, in terms of like opening kills and stuff, Vitality are keeping up, but we had this down 3K as he pushed, or 2K, whatever it was, when he pushed through the CT smoke. We had the multiple instances of pit hold. TeSeS' ace. I think 2 3Ks out of Shush.
Yes.
So
Cadian with a couple op kills off of Arch/A-site.
They're Vitality are pressuring Heroic to come up huge individually.
But they're delivering.
Yeah.
Good Counter-Strike out of both teams. Better individuals out of Heroic thus far. Luckily for us, plenty more to come. A solo B setup here, leaning on Jabbi.
That was an interesting call out. They smoke CT, but not library.
dupreeh in the smoke. 5-7 spam.
Oh,
damn, man. Luckily that thing's got 20 shots, and now Cadian goes through. Apex and him have crossed paths, but Cadian's made sound, so
Apex shoots.
Missed shot, but now I guess he can transition into the B split. It's going to have to be Jabbi all alone, and sure enough, from just beneath Orange, barrel to the back of Magisk. Smoke cutting off each of the potential trades, but Spink's gonna keep this hope alive. 8 seconds to that clock. One final round to try and take, and it's Spinks to make the difference.
Can he plant?
Boom! It's gonna, no, he missed it. He missed his chance, and Cadian and co will not let you get away with that. 9-6 on the half. Chaos and carnage.
Could be caught with the bomb here. That's a hand which proves to be very painful. Snapped off completely. But there's a trade here from Naf, so important. Rops must deliver now, trying to avoid the flashes. Sees a Liege as well. Assailants from both sides and FaZe Clan take the lead. 3 players survive, including the AWP for FaZe Clan.
I feel like that might have been a self-flash from Naf. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, he lands in the mini pit, and Rops is delighted for it, as it's the freest kill of the map for him. Yeah, Yakinda has not been at his best this tournament, sadly, for Team Liquid. If he gets that entry, it could be completely different. I mean, you see here, Rops gets that kill and there's no flash assist. So I guess maybe Naf flashed himself? Either way, it is FaZe who are happy to take that round. Nice initiative taken by Brokey. Means that it's easier for Rops to play his position. And Rops is very good in those sorts of spots. So reliable for this FaZe team. Looks like we should be ready to get back into the action shortly. And unfortunately for Team Liquid, their cash isn't liquid right now. It's tied up elsewhere, and so it has to be pistols. This is another match where I really think Rain versus Yakinda could be a big matchup. And I think Rain's getting the better of that so far on Banana. Harrigan here to assist. Flash, well timed. Just making sure they don't get overrun by pistols. Yakinda up close at the half wall though, but Rain clears him out. Perfect placement from Rain.
God.
He's feeling it, man.
What an animal. So fun to watch Rain year after year. Tech9 party is being neutered. That makes life a lot easier, in theory, at the very least. There is a flashbang here for Team Liquid to potentially use on the A-bomb site. They'll distribute the nades. I think we see a molly coming towards shores again. Really wanting to force these.
So, TeSeS with the ace in the first half and Heroic with the biggest moments. There's definitely strategy and tactic and clean execs that can be praised on the side of Vitality, but the reason they come up with 6 rounds is because I can think of at least 3 rounds that are all won by Heroic's better individuals so far here for Map 1.
We saw some good rounds out of Spinks in terms of moves that he made. Every kill that ZywOo got was insanely impactful, but so many of those kills were won in vain because they ended up losing the rounds to Heroic's individuals or other players on Vitality not being there to step up. So just as much to praise about Heroic as to be criticized about Vitality. I think Heroic would be quite pleased with themselves to have recovered that first half and with 9 rounds. Maybe on this pistol, Vitality will have some luck. Pushing into middle. Oh, that's a clean pickoff. And another.
I feel like you don't want to run into ZywOo when it comes to the pistols, but Jabbi trying to bounce his way out through balcony. It's a good way to preoccupy a couple CTs. Allows for the boiler peek out of TeSeS, but that's also being held. So ZywOo kind of getting stretched thin here between 2 points of contact. Maybe Spinks can take it back.
That's a nice move by Spinks.
Clean timing, a little risk, right, to go peeking around the side into ult, but he's rewarded for his efforts. And I think that really allows Vitality to just lean back and try to close out this second pistol.
You'd think it was a foregone conclusion.
Of course, Heroic did win first pistol, but then the force buy of Vitality net them 4 rounds straight right after.
They also won multiple disadvantage situations. And now it's a 2v3. But ZywOo, he's not done.
No, sir. It's got Cadian stuck in the little pit. Goes for the reload. And Cadian catches him. But then, of course, Apex out from Library makes sure that the bomb can't go down. Let's see if Vitality can hang on to what Heroic couldn't. A CT pistol win.
Yeah. This map is really shaping up. Let's see. Best possible conclusion, 16-14. Don't even care who wins. This needs to go all the rounds. With all the players looking so good at the same time. It would be a shame to waste this. Okay. Heroic into the force buy with only Tech 9s. They're going for a lot of utility here. And no AKs, no Galils.
Put the fire out. Oh boy. Apex, multi-kill. Makes the FAMAS find 2, but then a smoke to the CT cross, a nade that could and will catch down ever so slightly. Wild spray from the MP9, not going to stop the bomb plant. You've given away a FAMAS, you've given Stown an SMG, and Heroic even pick up a couple smokes as well with it. So
there's no banana retake and flare on banana here.
Yikes.
So there's actually a molly left for jabbi as well.
And another smoke.
Got to be careful about going slow.
If you're going to make this retake happen, also no kits. Unless there's one down on the players, but they're over towards banana. So at this point, there's still no kit on this play. I just don't even think there's time. The trades are going to go to jabbi and Stown. Spinks out of the CT, cross gets 1. You can rack up a cost versus Heroic, but you're not getting away with the win.
5 dead, and just gets the best gun of the round. The round win. Bomb explodes. Heroic back on top. Just like that. I mean, you know, anti-eco on banana. At least Apex gets 2 frags there, but that's 2 between 2 people. You simply cannot lose to rushes versus guns like that on a round where there's a high likelihood it happens.
Man, oh man. I'm still a little surprised they didn't just save. You know, you still had the majority of the M4s. Outsiders would have saved.
That's why we love Vitality.
Apex finds Stown. Finished off by the frag. That'll cause Heroic to have to go back and make sure that banana's not compromised. You can grab the better weapon and the smoke that comes with it. So, small price to pay.
They are leaving the site, it looks like. Doesn't seem like a late round adjustment from Heroic is about to come up. In fact, an explode in a mid feels like what's about to happen. CTs will have to step away from this. Lots of footsteps here heard by ZywOo just for a moment, or dupreeh just for a moment.
Full
Second
white.
flash is great.
Nicely done. You know, we talk about Heroic being greater than the sum of their parts, and nowadays it's nice to see that Stown can be 9 and 12 at the moment, and Heroic are still just looking a cut above the likes of Vitality, who are also looking better than, I want to say, ever? Maybe.
Vitality?
Yeah.
Like in this very, like this monicum.
Yeah, this 5.
Yeah, I think...
I don't want to jump to conclusions.
I mean, Pro League was their peak, and they sort of look like that again, I guess, but
Right.
yeah, I kind of know what you mean. I mean...
Point being, if Shush, who's kind of touted as their 1 star, can have an off day, and you get everybody else just still tearing through Vitality, this is a Heroic that is actually looking to hang on to their crown. And just yesterday, we talked about their first 2-0 win since beating Spirit in the Rio quarterfinals. So it's Heroic with an uptick. You've got to give the credit where it's due. And it's not the star, singular, of Heroic, but the team from top to bottom. 4-round lead over Vitality. They get through this one. There's still no money for the CT buy, so expect the Danes to pull further ahead.
Yeah. Stown, the only player from Heroic in the top 20. And Vitality, they had Spinks and ZywOo. Spinks near the tail end, I think like 18, something like that. And ZywOo, of course, comfortably in number 2.
And, you know, we talk about the formula of Vitality kind of being Spinks has to be another star. Well, today he is performing alongside ZywOo. It's the other 3 that are just nowhere to be found. Nowhere. Apex, good kill off the Deagle. 3 more terrorists where the first one comes from. And his teammates still smoked off from the engagement. So you can use that as a chance to leave if you choose. Stick around and try to run the risk of just racking up a cost versus Heroic. But we will need a significant impact from dupreeh, Magisk, and Apex, or else this map, and arguably this series, is easily going to be taken away by Heroic.
And another feather in the cap of Heroic on a very quickly upward trending Inferno in their last wins. I think 5-1 now before this match starts in their most recent games, and like a streak of 7 losses before that. So, well, yeah. Nice punishment kills at the end, too, which is something that also Heroic do better than anyone else. When they win rounds, they do a great job of making sure to get as many kills right after. And they set up a lot of the times with the thought that they will win the round and perform aggressive lurks on the other side of the map early to crush the economy.
Really are like the counterplay of outsiders. I almost just called them overtimers.
I'm sure that was like the next name on the list that they didn't use. But yeah, the Heroic have created a gestalt in the sense that its stats are so hard to define the team. Their team ranking has always been more impressive than any one of their individuals.
Ooh, deep nade out of Apex. That one will be worth him dropping to 58 in exchange for tagging up 3. M4 is suddenly looking that much more deadly.
Oh, the top-heavy vitality. If they win this round, they'll have an op, and then maybe some odds, but Heroic very good with top banana control. These executes are fearsome, and Vitality's set up right now. It's not committed at all. Low on grenades, I don't think they feel comfortable in the site, man. They've only got 1 smoke here to stop this, but yeah, Magis gets a kill. Really good peek. Trade comes in on the other side of the map.
TeSeS with a chance at another is shut out by Spinks, and the flashbang stuns jabbi at the forefront of the B hit.
No mollies, no smokes here. Apex. Oh, he wants to frag, and he just can't.
Nothing, man.
Yeah, he gets 1. They keep numbers.
Another
the smoke
gap
is coming up. Oh,
Magis could capitalize. A1S gets away from him. It's damage versus jabbi. Shush also on 30. These are the 2 players who have found their impact. Spinks and ZywOo in a 2v2 to try and stave off Heroic's 13. You think surely they go for this.
they wish they had an HE. They wish they had a molly.
That would be the end of jabbi, no doubt. It's going to have to come from the guns instead, and that means that the crispness of these AKs on Heroic's side could still very well shut down the retake attempt. Who comes in with the damage first? Who manages to shut out who? And jabbi, with new box between him and the CTs, is just going to serve up the distraction. They're turning the wrong direction. ZywOo and Spinks with a kill apiece. No kit, no time, and therefore no 8th. It is Heroic with more winning ways.
You got their 2 best players miles ahead of everyone else and miles away from the site that's being taken. And that moment right there is where kills do matter. Apex, because their lack of utility, Apex is trying to get a frag so that they can keep high numbers. If he even goes 1 for 1, they're in a good position, and ZywOo and Spinks can come in and do the rest on the retake. But they just need more than nothing, basically, on these holds. And Magis, well, he got 2, fighting from both CT and from Con, but with the 3 players, they get in total 2 kills there.
Yeah, not enough. Also, kind of slow from the last 2 players on the retake as well, right? You know you don't have a kit.
Yeah.
There's none on the play.
An interesting decision to go
we
for
saw
that.
ZywOo drop that smoke behind Coffin and kind of walk up. For those 5 seconds are what makes the difference between that being your 8th and Heroic's 13th.
Yeah, absolutely.
So get all the kills you want. Just get them faster. Probably easier said than done. And it definitely won't be easy from this point. Dupreeh takes the gun off Spinks as he gets tagged up through those wall spams, I believe. And that nade, oof. Not going to make Magis and Apex's job any easier, especially when their own util finds so little in response. They'll try to flash and re-engage. ZywOo's here, of course, with a gun. Butts down. Excellent. Dodges the blinding flash that comes over top. And then Heroic just as quickly leaking into the brackets, going around through apartments, and they're just going to try to slice their way through the little remnants of this A-site hold. Dupreeh on box, looks away, dies empty-handed. ZywOo will catch a kill through smoke. We've still got the pistol on the site. Stown, oh, this is it, but denied. He just has so little health because of the spam at the start of that round that you can't expect too much.
Yeah, they're actually, yeah, Dupreeh has a good gun, and they have I think Spinks in a position where they don't see him, with a chance that everyone gets their kills, but dupreeh misreads the timing on dodging the flash, just instantly dies, and the rotators, they're fast, actually, but not fast enough. Moto Smoke comes up nice and plump, and they can't get through it. Heroic on 14. Again, we look back a couple of rounds. I think that was the moment Vitality really had a chance to make this game a reasonable expectation to make a comeback in, show us some semblance of a CT side, and here at least they get the op they were looking for. It is just a little bit of extra pressure right now, and we haven't seen those sustainable, nice CT rounds.
Man, we really haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
13 of the last 16 all the way of Heroic.
Here's a last chance here.
Vitality's 4-1 lead made you think that they were showing up. 2/5 of the camp has. But no Danish impact out of Vitality tonight. At least not in this first map. Not yet.
Apex is lucky to be a part of the French couple.
Mm-hmm. French power couple. It's great to see Spinks still thriving. At least they have that second star, but 2 players don't make a team. Just ask Cloud9.
That was a good one.
Zai was able to hold the corner. Spinks is right behind it. That's not going to shot away from Heroic. If anything, that's just going to piss them off. dupreeh can't finish that second kill despite it being close. Spinks slides past the corpse of Zaiwu. Jabbi's down for pit. You can see Spinks pulled in 2 directions, and he just gets shredded down the middle. Magisk and Apex on a desperate retake. 1 kill out of Library. Mid player could also pick one up, but just as quickly as they think they've got a chance, it takes right back. Heroic 3 alive, 8 map points, and a semifinal that seems so damn close.
Yeah, they're touching it right now. This would be one of their best Inferno wins and versus one of the best teams they played on this map. Been seeing success, and absolutely, I'm going to tell you right now, watching their recent Inferno games, they have talked about this map. They have improved on things. They look just as good as anybody else, and their overall stats do not represent how good their Inferno has become. And now they're just proving it in the results. But we have a husk of a CT side here from Vitality. And even that round, Spinks and Zaiwu both get run through, so...
Dude, Jabbi is just on a different planet at the moment. Apex tries to press around Smoke, clip by Stown. Boiler kill from dupreeh doesn't connect, and those chances are going to be far and few between. Magisk jebaited by the jump front, and just like that, B-Site crumbles beneath the pressure. Apex with nothing, Magisk with nothing, and unfortunately for Vitality, essentially nothing. We can talk about that 4-1 start, we can talk about their little individual moments, but this first map belongs entirely to Heroic. A massive uptick in improvement on this map specifically, and it's a map that Vitality thought that they could challenge them on. The only challenges I saw, well, the Danes, too little, too late. We'll see what they can do in between these maps. It's Overpass up next. Both teams in the Spodek, but one of them a quick route to a semifinal.